Well, it's been a while since my last video. This time I figured I got the new Apple TV, so I figured I'd get on cam for a few minutes and talk about it. No big deal. It's not going to be an extremely long video or anything, not a rant video, because I actually love this little device. It really has been a godsend for me, and to be honest with you, if I was single and lived by myself, I would have no need for cable TV anymore. So the only reason I keep cable TV around is because of the wife and kids, But for me personally, and for what I do, which I'm sure I'm a rarity as compared to most people, but for somebody like me, it does everything I need it to do. I don't need cable. I don't like cable telling me when I can watch what I want to watch. That's what they basically do. They tell you when you can watch what you want to watch. If you want to watch House, you got to tune in at this channel at this time. You got to make sure you're home and you're not doing anything else if you want to watch this show, because that's when they tell you you can watch it. And I think that's kind of bullshit considering what we pay for cable TV. But with Apple TV, I might not have all of the latest and greatest shows, but I get to watch what I want to watch when I want to watch it. And that is a really, really big deal. The box itself, I didn't do an unboxing, unfortunately, but the box, the Apple TV is the size of a Mighty Mouse, maybe a little bigger. It's an absolutely beautiful, elegant little device. They've done a really, really good job with it. It's really basic, yet it's really elegant. It really is a nice looking little device. I have it sitting beside my HD TV, and it's got an HDMI cable running from the Apple TV to the HD TV, and it's got a power cord. I plugged it in, had it set up and synced with my iTunes on my 27-inch iMac back here in the back, and the TV's in there. Had it synced within 5 or 10 minutes after I read through the directions, had it set up and turned on sharing and all that good stuff. A lot of y'all probably already have it turned on. And about 10 minutes to figure out how it was working, and after that, well, I was off and running. Well, I had to enter my iTunes password on the Apple TV, which was kind of cumbersome because you have that remote and you got to click through each letter, like go to A, click A, hit it, the next one B, hit it, 1, hit it, and you got to click through each, like on a video game console, how you got to tap through when you put your initials in. So it's kind of cumbersome there because there's no keyboard where you can just type in your password, but once you put your password in one time, that's it. So I had to enter my iTunes password and account. I had to enter the password again when I synced it, and then I had to enter my Netflix password because I am a subscriber to Netflix, and of course, Apple TV does stream Netflix. And between my 2 terabyte iTunes library, growing library, and the podcasts, and YouTube, and Netflix, I really just don't have any interest for cable TV anymore. I'm surprised at how fast it streams. I can fire up a movie via Netflix or iTunes, or get a 99-cent TV show rental, and within a few seconds it's playing and streaming, and there's no pausing, there's no buffering. And I don't have the latest and greatest in high-speed wireless routers. I just have, it's 2 years old, 2 or 3 years old, my wireless router is. So it's not the latest and greatest, and it does an extremely, extremely good job. It's very well mannered. It responds really well. The operating system is smooth and concise. It's easy to understand, and it's easy to grasp, and it's easy to navigate. So I really absolutely have not one single complaint about this new Apple TV. Would I like to see some features added? Yes, I would. I would always like to see features added to things. But as it stands now, I think the Apple TV is a really, really good device, and it has a really, really mass amount of potential. I was reading that it has 8 gigs of flash storage. It has an extra slot for RAM, I think they said. So this is like a mini computer, and if it has that much storage internally, even though we can't access it, it's there for a reason. I'm sure it's there to load content onto, to stop from buffering as much and stuff, but you could also use it to install apps. So this is just the beginning, and if you think back over Apple's timeline and look at the products that they've released everything that they released at first is always stripped down. It's always a stripped down product, and everybody's always complaining, well, it lacks this and it lacks that. How come they won't let me do this or they won't let me do that? You know, it was the same way with the iPad, the iPhone. It's the same way with this Apple TV. But eventually, Apple will roll out these features and will take advantage of these things. Like Apple's iPhone didn't have cut and paste at the beginning, but they did roll it out eventually. And I think the feature that they could roll out for this Apple TV could be amazing if they take advantage of it and if they can strike deals with the content companies. Because I don't think they like this 99-cent rental deal. I think they like the Hulu model because they can sell ads, and ad revenue is huge, hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? And that's what Hulu does. They run ads. That's how they make their money. But iTunes is an ad-free environment. No ads. You pay your 99 cents, you don't get any freaking ads, and that's all you get, you know. So I can see why they're kind of reluctant to do that, because they want that mass money. But ultimately, I think the way Apple's wanting to do it will turn out to be the best way. Maybe one day Apple will offer Hulu on its Apple TV. I don't see that happening nearly anytime soon. Of course, then again, I didn't think they would allow Netflix on Apple TV because I thought, well, they won't allow Netflix because nobody will buy iTunes stuff. They'll just all watch Netflix. So I was wrong about that. Obviously, that wasn't Apple's way of thinking. So maybe, you know, maybe things will change and things will get better. But as of now, I cannot not recommend the device. It's 99 bucks. Get it, hook it up to your TV, and I promise, I can almost guarantee you that you'll be glad you bought the device. I can almost personally guarantee you that you'll be glad you bought the device because it is a nifty, nice little gadget, and I give it 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars, because I'm actually watching my podcast in the living room now, where I used to come in here and sit in front of the computer. Now I find myself wanting to go into the living room and sit on the couch and turn on Mac Break Weekly on my 50-inch HD TV and watch it in there, and it looks spectacular. If you subscribe to the right podcast, the large, the HD, it looks spectacular. It looks better than TV, better than cable. So put your money down for one, guys. If you are a subscriber to Netflix, if you have an iTunes library, I cannot help but recommend the Apple TV. Now, if you don't have a Netflix subscription and you don't use iTunes, yet you watch Hulu, you're a big Hulu user, then you might want to go with the Roku box, because Roku allows you to stream Netflix and Hulu. But I don't think you can sync your iTunes library with a Roku box. So if you just use Netflix and Hulu and you don't have an iTunes library, the Roku box will be good for you. But if you're involved in the Apple ecosystem and you have a big, huge library of stuff you've purchased from iTunes, then the Apple TV is the route you want to go. Because I have Netflix and Apple TV and a lot of iTunes stuff, so it's right for me. The Roku doesn't make as much sense. I need something that syncs with my iTunes library. And the Apple TV does just that. Like I said, I'll personally guarantee you almost that you'll like this purchase if you have an iTunes library or you're a subscriber to Netflix. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I can't say anything but good things about this Apple TV. They have took a step completely and utterly in the right direction, I think. And I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us in Apple TV. So that's my opinion. Go get one. Don't hesitate. I promise you won't be disappointed. OS 10, brothers.